Hey guys, it's Lena here, and in this quick video, I'm happy to walk you through this cool track idea produced by Heather Fenoughty that involves a lot of creative uses of FX Collection 5 effects. Let's hear it first, and then we will analyze a few key sections to see what role they play in the arrangement and how the sounds were made. As we can hear, the song starts with a very plain, ambient, unaffected introduction, and then evolves in the second section with effects altering the color, tone, and mix while still keeping the music coherent. Let's examine this evolution by analyzing all four parts of the arrangement. Here's section number 1. So this intro section uses effects in a few different ways. We can hear them on the tracks Bamboo Shadow, Beautiful Swell, and Atlas. The first track is a delicate, evolving pad that creates a mystical atmosphere. It starts alone, but is then joined by swelling strings and a low-end bass. To help it stand out more, Heather decided to use a bass exciter to enrich its presence as the mix gets richer. Moreover, its dry-wet increases as strings and bass become more pronounced. Let's listen. Pretty smart. Now, as you see in the automation lane, this bus exciter automation ends after a few seconds, meaning its impact on the track decreases. This takes us to the beautiful swell track, where we hear strings that start with almost no processing, just a bit of rev intensity reverb for space. As the pattern goes on, the rev intensity dry-wet ratio goes up, filling up the mix with more high-end wet signal, entering our mix just when the previous track's bus exciter automation ended, allowing Heather to manage the overall space in the mix nicely. On top of that, there is an EFX motion instance active, which plays a small but important role at the end of this pattern, increasing its dry-wet to create a dynamic filter movement, serving as a nice build-up tool. The last sound here is the bass from Pigments. The composer used the bass peak for a more pronounced sub-bass. She achieved this simply by increasing the input gain and limiting the peaks with the same amount of decibels. The second part introduces a lot of changes caused by various effects. These appear on the guitar arp, string, and bass tracks, numbers 64, 69, and 75. The guitar arp track, which previously sounded like this, now becomes much more present and rhythmic thanks to EFX motions, adding rhythmic interest. Bass exciter helping the sound punch through, and bass peak adding harmonic distortion flares. Let's listen. Track number 69 is a quite normal string sound, but in the main section, it becomes really unique. This is thanks to EFX motions, creating an emergent melody from harmonics. Bass peak, limiting and peaking levels, and delay eternity, giving the slightly aimless feel of this emergent melody a sense of intentionality, while also taking the sound to a bit more abstract territory. The ambient interlude section shines mainly thanks to the bamboo shadow track and the early spring one. Track 59 uses bass exciter on the bamboo flute top line to enable even more cut-through, allowing its crispy high-end harmonics to lead this section. Track 71, on the other hand, offers a deep string-driven lush chord progression. It's nice on its own, but becomes more powerful with the EFX fragments instance on it, adding an octave down with subtle movement. Tracks in focus at the final stage of the mix are the voice track, which utilizes bass exciter for an extra dimension and edge. Track 70, called Stringscaper, offering a string pattern altered by EFX motions for rhythmic surprise and interest on the backing string harmonies, as well as bass exciter for a bit of punch in the mix. And lastly, track 76, called P-String, which smartly uses EFX motions automation for some static and stutter interest at the end of the phrase before the drop, plus a comp fat 76 again for adding warmth and body. And that's it. Thanks to Heather for this great little track. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and try FX Collection 5. Also, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more educational videos in the future. Thanks, and see you soon.